Hi there, I'm Jamie Goring, and I will be your student's math teacher this year for Algebra 1. I just wanted to introduce myself to you and go over some of the expectations and resources students have in the class as they go through this year. So, as I said, I am Miss Goring. I started working at the Freshman Center in 2018. Mostly, I've taught honors geometry and Algebra 1, but I've taught all kinds of other math classes here as well, and I'm excited to be teaching this one this year. So, in Algebra 1, which is a year long, the students have 3 separate trimesters, which means they might have different teachers. For this try, for me, this is what I would expect of students. Most of these things are very similar to what students know in all of their other classes and in their other math classes as well. We do most of our practice on Schoology and online, so they must have their Chromebook for school. We also use graphing calculators in this class. We have a class set of graphing calculators, so it's not required that your student has one. If they'd like one, that's awesome. You can feel free to purchase them a graphing calculator. If you need help deciding on the model, please email or Schoology message me and I can help you out. In the class, the grading scale is that 60% of the grade is coming from tests, 20% is quizzes, and 20% is practice. Practice is sort of like the homework grade. I just don't like using the word homework. Students are allowed 1 retake per test. So if they get a test score that they don't like, they are able to take a retake once they complete an additional review outside of class. That way we know that there's some studying going on in between the test and the retake. Quizzes, you will have 2 attempts for, so students can attempt it 1 time and then they can try and get their score up by attempting it a second time after they've seen the results from the first one. The practice assignments are all on Savvis, the online math program that we use. It's got a ton of features in it that help students out, give them examples, or help walk them through the problem. So it's a really robust, great program to use for math. In order to get credit for an assignment, students will have to complete at least 70% of the problems on that assignment correctly. So if they get 70% or more correct, I bump their grade up to a 10 out of 10, and that is the grade that they receive for the assignment. I collect late work for a while. I accept late work until the unit test for no penalty because I figure sometimes things just happen, and I appreciate students getting their work in no matter when it gets turned in. Other things that are important on here, the students all know the behavior policy, the cell phone policy, and everything, so not a huge deal on those. For your purposes, just know that I am here a lot. I'm here before school, after school, really any time that a student needs extra help. If they want to ask me about staying, I'll stay after with them and work with them. If you ever need to contact me, feel free to email me or get a hold of me through Schoology. I'm usually very responsive and I'm able to get back to you super quick. I also wanted to show you the Schoology page for this class so that you could see what your students have access to because they do have a lot of resources to use. So in Schoology, for each topic of algebra, there's a bunch of different possibilities. There's notes and video resources, and in here they can see the blank copy of the notes in case they lost theirs. There are also PDF files of the completed notes for every single section. So if students need to know what the completed notes look like maybe they weren't here for a day, they can always go in and see those. There is also, and this is really important, there are videos for every single section that we do and every single example that we do. So if students were gone, this is basically a teacher teaching them the notes. Sarah Youngberg has recorded all of these for us and shared them with us so that we can share them with our students. These are incredible resources, both for being absent and also if students just did not get a certain concept and need a different teacher to explain. We have the assignments. These are the ones that are graded, so students will need to complete all of their assignments in Savvis in order to get the credit for those. There are also extra practice materials, and there are a ton of these. In this case, there are 2 extra practice assignments for every section that we do. So if students get done with their assignment and they feel like they still need more practice, they can feel free to take a look at the extra practice materials, which are not graded. They're totally optional, but they can use them if they need to. And then finally, the lesson quizzes, of which there's 1 lesson quiz for every lesson that we do. So there will be a lot of quizzes in that quiz grading category at the end of the trimester. All right. That's basically the information that I wanted to tell you about the class. If you've got any questions or concerns at any point in the year, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. I will absolutely be able to help you out. Thank you so much and have a wonderful